you've been at your job for at least 2 years and you're a high performer and you have not received a promotion or a salary increase, my best advice to you is to leave. I'm Reece Soltani. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Currently, I am the owner of Chachi's Sandwiches restaurant. So, at the height of my career and my six-figure salary, I was making $180,000 in New York as a strategy and innovation consultant. Once I had graduated from college, I'd sort of taken the first job I could and whatever salary they would give me. But then I started learning a lot about what salary negotiation looks like to be able to come to the table and know how to negotiate. And so I discovered a group called Ladies Get Paid, where they teach you salary negotiation and how to close the wage gap, and followed their step by step process to be able to get there. As a child of immigrants, hitting the six-figure salary was a really big deal for not just me, but my parents. You know, they came here with less than $75 in their pockets, and combined, they had never seen over $100,000 in their salaries. So for me to be able to hit $180,000 a few years out of college, it was mind-blowing. In some ways, it felt like they really had accomplished the American dream, that by giving their generation to grinding and petty saving, that in some way it had all been worth it. My six-figure salary allowed me to do a few things. Most importantly, it allowed me to support my husband while he was finishing his PhD and wasn't able to bring in a salary for a couple of years. So I was the main breadwinner when he was doing that. It also allowed me to do a lot of the lavish things that every millennial loves to do. You know, I lived in a great neighborhood. I traveled a lot. I really enjoyed myself. But it also allowed me to create a security buffer to write out things like a pandemic in case I was to get laid off. Most importantly, it allowed me to go back to the public sector to pursue more meaningful work, which required me to take a pay cut. I've always wanted to start my own business, but mainly this was about financial freedom for me. It started really occurring to me that the more that I was promoted in a traditional corporate setting, the responsibility grew exponentially, but the salary grew incrementally, and I had less and less control over the structure of my day. So, entrepreneurship was an opportunity for me to really gain control of my day and do something a bit more creative that felt tangible and that I have built with my own hands. It's so important to negotiate your salary, particularly because there are going to be other people that certainly are, and you only get what you ask for. And when you think about women in particular who happen to most often be the caretakers for their families, they generally get sandwiched between taking care of aging parents potentially and children at the same time if they chose to have them. And that can force them into a position where they need to leave the workforce. And eventually, if they decide to re-enter the workforce, they've lost a certain amount of time. And what happens in that time that they've lost is they've given out on promotions, they've cut back on their base salary and have to start back from where they started, and potentially lost out on bonuses. And all of those things, in addition to more comprehensive salary, it has a compounding effect. And so when you start adding that data to what it might look like for different ethnic groups, it becomes particularly hard to close the wage gap. If you've been at your job for at least 2 years and you're a high performer and you have not received a promotion or a salary increase, my best advice to you is to leave. Take those skills somewhere else to a different company. You are going to make more money moving your skills around in your career than you will waiting for one company to value you more and promote you and give you more money. You have more leverage than ever when you have been made a offer. And that's when you'll start to see things like 15, 20, 25% increases in your salary.